Hey guys, it's Zesty. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a really great week. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to make this little basket that I made out of a shoebox. I was really looking to find something to use for my face towels because I do find that they tend to get a little bit disorganized, and I do have quite a few, and this turned out perfect for them. This DIY is super easy, it's super inexpensive. So anyways, let's get to it.
For supplies and tools, you will need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, some jute rope, I purchased mine at the dollar store, a shoebox, and will only be using the bottom piece, and some fabric of choice. I used half of a pillowcase that I purchased at the dollar store, and you can usually find these in packs of 2. To start, I reinforced the box by gluing down any flaps or areas that looked a little flimsy. Next, I added a very small amount of glue to the end of my jute rope so that it wouldn't fray. And once that was ready, I began to wrap the jute rope around the box and glued it down with my glue gun. So on your first loop around, it's really important that you use a consistent and generous amount of glue so that the surface of the jute is completely and fully secured down. At the same time, you want to line it up to the bottom of the box as best that you can so that it looks straight and neat, and so that the bottom of the box isn't visible. I actually added a fair amount of glue for the first 2 to 3 loops. Once you've completed your first loop, just make sure to wrap and glue your next loop down as close and tight as possible to your first one. Once you've done a few loops, you can actually minimize the amount of glue you use and just glue it down in intervals, while always making sure that you aren't leaving any space between the rope. Once I got to the top, I used more glue around my loops just to make sure that it was fully secure. When I was done my loops, I cut the jute rope and secured it down. And after that was done, I started working on the fabric portion of the basket. I decided to use half of this pillow sheet that I had left over from another DIY that I made. The first thing I did was measure out how much fabric I needed for the bottom of the box and the 2 wide sides of the box. And I also cut extra fabric so that I would have enough to fold over the edges. You're welcome to use a ruler here. I just roughly estimated and it worked out for me. After making sure that it was a good size, I cut out my other pieces of fabric for the narrower sides of the box. I also cut them a little wider, and you'll see why I did that when I start gluing them together. Once I was done that, I created a seam on both the long sides of my big piece of fabric with my glue gun. When you're doing this, you want to use a small amount of glue and just be careful when you're pressing it down so that you don't burn yourself. After I was done that, I centered my other two pieces to the big piece of fabric and glued them down. Next, I attached all of the edges to one another. When you're doing this, it's really important that you attach or glue the smaller pieces on top of the longer piece. I purposely cut them a little wider so that I would have extra fabric to easily glue over onto each of the sides. Once I was done that, I turned it over and placed it in my box to make sure that it fit properly. And then I added just a little bit of glue to the inner corners of the box so I could secure the fabric down. After that, I used my scissors to cut any excess fabric around the basket so that it would be all even. And then I just folded the fabric inwards until it looked even on all sides. And I finished off with adding a little glue to each of the sides so that my fold would stay in place. After that, I cleaned up my basket with some scissors just to get rid of excess glue or frayed jute rope. And that's it. Look how great this turned out. I absolutely love it.
All right guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. If you guys want to see more jute type of crafts or DIYs, let me know in the comments and I'll see you guys soon. Have an awesome week. Bye.